Hey everybody, this is Jordan with the Crohn's Veteran Podcast. Welcome. I'm so honored to have my amazing co-hosts Renika and CJ. How you guys doing today?
Hey, doing excellent.
Doing great.
Thank you. And we are very grateful. Crohn's Veteran is very grateful to have an IBD streamer and an actor and just an all-around amazing person, Ellie Kadeli. How you doing?
Thank you guys. I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. It's such an honor to be on this podcast. I've watched a few episodes of yours. I love CJ. So I'm just happy to be here,
Well, we're very happy to have you here also. And it's our pleasure, and we're very honored, and and so we'll get right into it. And I'm just really curious, and so if you could share with our audience a little bit about yourself and and a little bit about your IBD journey.
Of course. So it's definitely a lengthy one. So I actually got diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 6 years old, turning 7. I turned 7 in the hospital. My gift was getting Crohn's. So that's definitely a birthday you're not going to forget. But I've definitely been through the ringer for it all. I was refractory for a while. So, the timeline blends together, but probably around 10 years or so, I was refractory. I'd done everything. It was a tough time. I actually ended up getting surgery. I got an ileocyctomy, which they removed part of my ileum and a little bit of my intestines, but honestly, I always say it's not too invasive, which everyone who is not, chronically ill is like, what? You got some of your intestine removed? And it's like, compared to some of the other surgeries, I got off really easy.
Right.
So I'm abundantly blessed, and I kind of learned that my Crohn's in particular definitely could not just be managed through one thing. It was definitely going to be, a combination of medication, of keeping my mental health, good and in check, staying active, watching what I eat, things like that. So I've learned a lot about, I always say that I'm really into whole body healing, because I really realize that everything connects. You're stressed out, your body's going to take that stress. You're going to start having symptoms. So it's like, if you can nip stuff at the bud emotionally while also maintaining your physical health, you just kind of flourish. So, so I've definitely had a bit of a tough case. It definitely made my upbringing a little bit more untraditional. I was homeschooled for most of my life. Homeschooled mostly through middle school and high school. I did go to private school for a year, and then I went to a public school for a year and a half. But it's weird, because though I do mourn the fact that I didn't have the most traditional childhood or teen years, I feel incredibly fortunate, because I really learned how to be myself and how to advocate for myself and how to stand firm in who I am as a person, which I think now that I'm an adult are really amazing traits to have. And part of where that really helped was also with finding, my career path within acting and streaming and things like that, because I learned that I don't need to take the traditional path. I can always take the alternative path.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm, this hearing your story, it's fascinating. And so, I've had my ileum taken out. I've had part of my colon. I've had 2 feet of my colon taken out.
Wow.
And so I can relate to you on that.
Yeah.
And, as a side note, to the people that are just listening to our show, that you have really awesome headphones.
Thank you. I do have I have pink cat ear headphones. I love them very much. One time they broke and I had to go and send them back to get fixed. And when I had to stream with regular headphones, I was like, I feel naked without my cat ears.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, that's been one really beautiful thing about, experiences like this podcast, is just meeting other people who are like, I've been through something similar to that. And, because I spent so many years when I was younger being like, I'm the only one who's like this. I'm the only one going through this. And then through the power of social media and meeting people, it's like, I'm not alone. There really are so many phenomenal people who, well, unfortunately are struggling like me. It's also like, yay, you're struggling like me. We're in this together. So literally, yeah.
When did you find go ahead, Renika.
No, go ahead, CJ. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
I was going to say, when did you start finding people with IBD?
So You know, it's interesting because it took me a while simply because I didn't want to. Really, it took me a long time before I became open about talking about Crohn's. Like, I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want people to know about it. I didn't want it to be like a big deal, which is hard when you're in the hospital like every other week because people are like, hey, where'd you go? And it's like, nowhere. I was somewhere off. But, you know, I kind of reached a point where I just realized how lonely I had felt with an IBD. And it was kind of more of like, I wonder if other people feel like this. And maybe if I start speaking about this, you know, other people relate and I can help people by talking about my experience. So that was like a really big thing for me. And it really wasn't until the past 2 years that that kind of blossomed into making those friendships. Because for a while it was kind of like just shouting out into the void. Or a lot of people who are in multi-level marketing schemes messaging me and being like, oh, you have Crohn's, I have something I can cure that. And being like, oh, I thought we were making a friendship, but you're trying to sell me something.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah. So it just thinks it sucks when you think you're making a personal connection. But the past 2 years, I mean, a big thing was there's this app called the Riley app that I kind of explain, like it's like Tinder for people with chronic illness. You like put in kind of your diagnoses and then you can swipe through people's profiles and you make friends. And it's about meeting people in your same circumstance. And it's beautiful. It's a great app. And really from there, just interacting with the community they had made on Instagram kind of opened me up to new people and then hashtags. I've been really, I think, the most blessed in the past year, especially again, like meeting people like CJ. I really think you're one of the first people I've met who's like a content creator who's trying the more creative path where I'm like, okay, not only do we have IBD, but we also have similar interests in what we want to do with our lives. And I think that's really elevated me in the sense of like meeting people who want to, you know, make online content. And then it's like, whoa, like we kind of have the same interests and it's really cool.
Awesome. I think we all can say about a year and a half, 2 years is when we pretty much started to be more open and sharing about our chronic illnesses on platforms such as this. I know with CJ, Jordan, myself have talked a lot about how we were not open to sharing a lot, and we developed these platforms to be able to connect to people. So I think that's a very good idea. That app is called the Rally app. I'm definitely gonna look. I'm definitely gonna look into that.
It's amazing.
I'm gonna get on Rally today and see Renika's profile.
It's amazing. It's so fun. It's a really cool profile, and it's been cool to see that kind of become more of a thing because they started just mainly on Instagram content to becoming an app, and it's been like, whoa.
Definitely.
Cool.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, I was curious, and so you're well. I have a couple of things I'm curious about. Like, so you're a streamer, so like, what do you like to stream? You know, like what do you like? So are you like a gamer? I mean, so like, you know, do you like, you know, cooking channel? Like, you know, what's your thing?
I do a little bit of everything. I would definitely say my main stuff that I work on is retro gaming. So, you know, 90s, 80s, early 2000s, and then horror games. That's like what I love to do.
Well, feel free to be specific. Like, you know, like what's your, you know, like what's your favorite horror game, and like what's your favorite, like, you know, what's your favorite retro game?
Oh my gosh!
Or maybe like
Silent Hill, 110%.
Awesome.
I love those games. It's psychological horror. It's actually interesting because the first game really, I played the first game when I was in middle school, and the first game kind of revolves around this cult that basically tried to use one of the cult members' daughters to birth a god. Anyways, but besides that, basically the story is surrounding around this young girl and like the torment and the pain that she went through. And I remember when I was a kid, like seeing a fictional story where there was a child struggling and trying to kind of figure out the world, and there's manifestations of monsters that were coming out of like grief and pain. And you don't play as her, you play as someone in her world. But I remember how much that resonated with me because I was like, you know, I was that scared child. I was that pained child.
Right.
And that, even to this day, like that series is still my favorite for the
Have you seen the movie?
I liked the first movie. The second movie is not worth watching.
I saw it too. I saw the first one. So that's kind of a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Hey, That's awesome. Well, I know games. TJ and Jordan, they play games. But I'm like, what is this game all about? But I might need to check up.
You'll find your niche no matter what it is. Like, don't let anyone make fun of you for any type of games you play. Like, I love games like Sims. I love like Stardew Valley, where you just have like a farm. Like, I like really casual games, and I like more extreme games. So just find your niche, and you'll love it.
Right.
Definitely. Wow. Your post on your page, I see that you do some acting. Is that correct?
Yeah. I've been a filmmaker for about 5 years now.
Okay, you mind share with us like some of the things we can find you on, or what?
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you look up Elizabeth Kadeli, you'll find basically anything tied to me, because I try to make sure that everything connects, because it's too hard to, find links to everything. But I would say the project that I love the most and that I'm really attached to is called Mount Hideaway. It is a family-friendly murder mystery that actually takes place in Northern Virginia, where I'm from, which is really, really cool. So because a lot of our emphases are on like shopping local and supporting local businesses, we also shot in a lot of local areas and employed a lot of local people, because that's really important to us. But I play a street rat named Angie. Her parents died in an explosion, and she kind of gets caught up in the mystery. So we did the first movie, which is actually available basically on any platform, not so much Netflix, because Netflix is mean, but like Amazon, you can find it on Vimeo, you can find it basically anywhere. And we actually just finished filming the sequel, which I'm so excited for it to come out. And we also just got approved for a 3-book deal.
Wow,
so there's going to be books,
amazing.
there's 2 movies. I know, I feel so blessed by God. It's just so
I
magical.
like an applause. I'm wishing I had some kind of like applause sound effect right now.
I know, I wish. But I'm super lucky, and it's been really amazing to me, because it's important for me to like show people, because I never thought I'd be able to act. And I've been on smaller projects. I've done a few movies. I've done a few web series. I did some extra and some TV. Actually, before COVID, I moved out to LA because I was planning on pursuing acting, and then COVID hit. And then that didn't happen, so I'm back home. But because I want to show people, like, I always wanted to be an actor, but I was like, I'm too sick. I can't do this. And it's been so rewarding to be like, I can do this. And sometimes it does take pushing myself, but I've also found the right people who support me and who are patient. Like a funny story that I can share about, we shot the sequel, we started at the end of October and wrapped up around December. But one of the first days we did, I was on like 50 milligrams of prednisone. And I had major balloon face. And the director messaged me and was like, hey, that first scene you were in, can we reshoot that? Because you've like lost a lot of weight. And I was like, please, can we reshoot it? And so we were able to go back and reshoot one of the scenes. And it's just nice to have people who support you and support, what your body's going through. So I really hope people realize that they can find people who will support them and be patient with them. Yes. And that they're not a burden for wanting to pursue creative pursuits, because we're the best type of people, us IBDers and chronically ill people.
Yes, I agree. I love the positivity. That is awesome.
Thank you. I try hard.
Doc said Netflix is mean. I agree.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
We definitely need to get you up on Netflix.
I know. Like, they just need to love me more. For all the money I've given them, I just feel like they should give me a few cents back.
Exactly, I agree. Yeah. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up tonight. I like, looking at different kind of movies and stuff. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to be exploring it tonight.
It's definitely very like feel good. Think of like a Hallmark movie. That's usually how I describe it to people. So
cool. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. And so besides that particular project, are there any other kind of goals or fun things that you have planned for this year?
What a good question. Definitely growing with streaming. I also just started a podcast myself, because I'm kind of trying to find a platform where I could mix talking about streaming and talking about things that I just enjoy and talking about health and filming and just bringing it all together. And I thought that a podcast format would be really, really great. My community supported me to do it. So that's something that I'm working on. It's called Hexcast. It's available basically everywhere, but I'm just trying to grow there and kind of grow in all the areas of my life in a way that also benefits others. So I just want to be able to continue to create like joyful, peaceful environments, whether you're watching my content or interacting with me, and also continuing to just be a voice for other people who are chronically ill. Because I think that's important, because I think especially right now with COVID, I feel like anyone, whether you're chronically ill or not, you just feel like, there's nothing to do, there's no opportunity, or things just feel awful. Right. And I just want people to feel so empowered by, just talking about things that they love or just doing things that they love and just like going out on a whim and just trying new things, because I feel like now can be such an, exciting, formidable time for everyone just to try a creative pursuit or try doing something that they love, because there's just space for everyone.
I agree.
I agree.
Since COVID has taken place, I think a lot of people have become more creative.
Oh, absolutely.
COVID remind me of people who are in prison, that they can draw. Oh, I can really make things out of sticks. Or I can really make things out of paper. When you are not doing anything and your creative mind started to come up, develop, it's like, wow, I can do all of these things. Nothing outside of this is basically interjecting in what I can do creative wise. So I agree with that.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're flowing all across the network.
Oh, sorry to break up. Doc said that Crohn's Veteran Stream Team sounds like a great community possibility for content creators. Yo, that's actually really good. Like on Twitch, if we were to have like a stream team of IBDers, just,
That'd be rad. I would be so down. I mean, I just wish that there was a more streamlined way for people to collaborate and figuring out how to do it,
I agree.
Like you're talking about like chronically ill people to collaborate, or just
absolutely.
I mean, that's awesome. Well, there's something else that I haven't asked a lot of people I've interviewed, but that I am curious is that excuse me. So you were saying that you have a dog and stuff earlier and stuff, and so so how is having a pet, having a dog helped you with IBD?
I think just having someone who won't leave your side and who's just like very dedicated. Like my dog is very cuddly. He's kind of a jerk. He's a pug, so he's not even like a real dog. But I love him anyway. But he's just like, he'll cuddle with me. And the funny thing is I got him when I got my surgery. So, because I wanted someone, I was like, I'm going to be laying down, I'm going to be recovering, I want someone to keep me company. And he has just been like the best friend. And it also motivates me, to get out of bed. You have something to take care of. You also need to take him out for walks. That helps promote you and help you get active. And it just feels really rewarding to be able to pour energy into a living creature and have it just love you back and be proud of you.
Also, they love you unconditionally.
True. Very true.
The dog,
and they can sense your feelings and everything, and they'll be there just to support you.
They really are just the sweetest.
Yeah, go
ahead, Jordan.
This is really real quick. I have a little toy poodle, blind. I have a blind toy poodle. It's actually I'm the uncle of it. It's my baby sister's dog that I'm never taking care of, and that dog flew from New York, all the way to Nebraska. And since it's blind, and we took her out, and she just went bananas because she knows it's you. So it's pretty great.
That's so sweet.
Definitely, I've learned that a lot of individuals that have IBD or chronic illnesses, they do have like support dogs that support them. Not necessarily they're called that, but they use them for the support part. I don't have a dog or anything. I thought about getting one a while ago.
You should.
Do I have time to take care of one? See,
it's really time consuming.
It definitely is.
I want to talk to you after about that, Renika, after you done saying what you're saying.
Thank you, CJ. I was on the opposite end. I was like, wow, if I get this doggy and I'm not able to get up and take it out for a walk, or I feel like I'm neglecting my doggy. That was my insecurity and my fear of getting one. But now I'm looking like, well, you're not, you're fine. What are you projecting? An illness going to happen to you tomorrow or something? So I'm still thinking about it. I'm still considering. I've been looking at the pugs. However, they're kind of expensive. The ones I saw was very expensive. So
those smaller dogs can be a little bit pricier, but it's definitely, you can find low energy dogs. And like the thing is, I think if you're capable of like loving something, that really goes a long way,
Definitely.
I made the mistake of not taking, myself into consideration when I adopted my pet or my dog. So when I adopted him, I was actually going through a flare, and I kind of adopted him on the sense of he was going to be like a support dog a little bit. And when I adopted him, little did I know that little homie had an intestinal parasite. So right off the bat, my man's got me stressed the F out.
So you guys got to suffer together?
Yeah, so we had to suffer together. I was there taking him to his vets and just like, pushing myself aside, like my IBD aside, and worrying about him only. And that kind of got me out of my flare though. So
yeah, it's kind of like it's like living for something else. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, that was it. I think we want to wrap it up a little bit here. On the way out, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Ooh, probably if you look up Norman Bates Jr., I'm on Twitch. I am on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. You can basically find me anywhere, or you can also search my stage name, which is Elizabeth Kadeli, Kadeli. You'll also find me there. You find one, they all lead to each other. So I would love to connect with you guys, especially if you are listening to this, watching this, and you are part of the IBD community. I'd love to connect with you, talk with you. If you're not, if you're someone who just supports the IBD community, same goes for you. So yeah.
Okay, so Doc, I gotta read the chat a little bit. So Doc said probably start a Twitch tag. I don't know. I can look some stuff up and hit y'all up after the podcast.
Awesome.
And then he said all the pugs watching this right now are hella offended.
I'm such a crazy pug lady that I literally have a pug blanket on right now.
Awesome.
Cujo said my go-to support was plants, and then my fat dog.
Renika?
Have a dog. I'm gonna give you a dog the more I watch this.
I support it.
Norman Bates Jr. Did you say that?
Have you ever watched Norman or
Psycho? Yeah, so Psycho is an Alfred Hitchcock movie that came out in 1960 or 1960 something. Yeah, so it's a play on words of that. I love the character of Norman Bates, and a lot of people don't know this, but that character actually created the slasher genre. So we wouldn't have Halloween, we wouldn't have Friday the 13th, we wouldn't have Scream if it wasn't for Norman Bates. So I have to put some respect on his name. So it's my name too.
All right.
Low key, I kind of thought you got it from Bates Motel.
Well, same thing, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm sincerely grateful. For your time and for you stopping by and stuff.
I'm so grateful to you guys. Yeah, no, that was so great. It's so great to talk to you guys, connect with you guys. It's such an honor to be here. I respect all of you so much. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we should definitely connect offline and stuff too.
Absolutely.
So, make some awesome IBD things happen. So
and CJ can tell you if I don't respond, just keep DMing me because my messages just either get buried or I have a brain fog and I just zone out.
I'd be there. That's why I like to double text.
All good. Well, awesome. Well, again, right. Well, actually, for us, you can, if you like, if you like this interview, if you like our content, please support, Crohn's Veteran, please subscribe to our show. Like us, share us, all that good stuff. We're on Instagram at official.crohnsveteran. We're on Teespring. We have an amazing merch store. Actually, CJ today is wearing one of our shirts, and so check it out. And again, support us. We appreciate it, and we appreciate Ellie Kadeli for joining us. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody who came out to the stream. We appreciate it.
Definitely. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.